The Farmpreneur program is located on 83 beautiful acres of farmland, wetland, and forest in North Saanich, just 30 seconds off the highway and 3 minutes from Sydney, the ferries, and the airport. It's part of the Sandown Centre for Regenerative Agriculture. The Sandown Centre has 3 main goals: to help launch thriving regenerative food growers, to showcase best practices in soil health and biodiversity, and to inspire community awareness in regenerative agriculture. The centre is located on public municipal lands and works to fulfill the policy priorities of this municipality, which include food production, biodiversity, and climate change action. The Farmpreneur program provides new farmers with access to land in secure, ongoing leases, shared amenities, collegial support, regular coaching and mentorship, and expert advice in business development. In its first year, the program received 28 applicants. 7 were selected as the inaugural cohort. These are the stories from their first year on the land.
My name is Veronique, and my background is as a professional contemporary dancer, and I've transitioned into the farming world.
My name's Annalise, and I live over there on a hill. And I grew up over there on another hill. So I'm Carol Highland, and I am growing flax, and I don't know what else to say, but it's been a great journey so far. It definitely seems like that's about understanding the cycle of everything, the seasons and the weather and the water and the flock of geese, and finding a way to work within that cycle and not just try to lord over it. Well, for me, I feel that it's all about the soil health and bringing the soil health back. So anything that we can do to contribute to that soil health, I think, is critical, because if the soil's no good, then your crop's going to be no good. So it's down to that basics, and there's so many inputs around that we can be taking advantage of, that it seems silly that we're not constantly building soil, and just that's my main thought about regenerative agriculture.
It was kind of by accident. I was between dance contracts and wasn't really finding much and was feeling a bit frustrated. So I applied for SOIL, the Stewards of Irreplaceable Land, and ended up working for a year at ALM Farm in Souk, and just totally fell in love with it. It was kind of something I'd grown up with, having a really beautiful garden at home, but I didn't really, it was just something I was used to, didn't really think much of it, and then kind of being thrown into it for a full year, just really realized how it tied in my love for connecting to the land, being outside and growing food. So it's sort of by accident, but totally just fell in love with it and knew it was something that I needed to tie into whatever I do.
And this is a good way to join the community. I'm really proud of the people that have assembled around here, and I think we all have the right intention, which is really a special thing, and that's what attracted me to this, is the opportunity to be a part of a new project, and sort of help guide that tone a little bit, versus and be a part of the tone at the beginning.
And it happened very fast. It was always something I knew in my mind, that I wanted to start a farm one day, but it felt very distant, and I didn't really know what that would look like. It happened very quickly, and all of a sudden I had this space that I had to fill with a bunch of plants. So it was really exciting. I think my brain didn't probably process it for a while, until it was really happening. But yeah, it just seemed like the right fit to be in a place where there was community and collaboration, and I wasn't just out by myself in the field crying because I can't figure out what to do. There were other people around me who were going to be in the same boat and supporting each other, and that's really what appealed to me, I think, about the Farmpreneur program.
I just think this is really cool because farming actually can be quite lonely. Like you can actually be really into your craft and your site, and then realize, that there's no one else around, right? Other people, their day jobs, and you're out in the field or you're out with the animals and stuff like that. So it was also that need for community and being around other people and experiences and learning from other people. So I know what I know, but I certainly don't know, everything that's out there.
So it's nicely structured in a way that we're getting not only mentorship about like growing food, but we're getting business mentorship as well, which for me, I find to be the more daunting aspect. Like I can make a bunch of mistakes growing stuff and I'll get over it, but in terms of like turning that into a business, that's where I don't necessarily know all the answers. So it's nice to have kind of all those aspects to it, and then being able to bring people in who are experts and can talk to us about specific things, because I don't think one person can necessarily hold all of that knowledge. So it's nice to have the diversity of people that come through here.
It's been great, actually. I've really enjoyed the Friday sessions. Having speakers come in and learning from the other younger entrepreneurs and where they've come from and their backgrounds and their motivation. And I've been able to give back a bit too, right? Because I've had a little bit of experience, so it's nice to say, hey, this is a typical thing.
Do you think that you would have done this without the Farmpreneur program?
Not at this scale. I would have probably done this a little bit at home on my property, but there's a lot of challenges there. And my previous experience being a part of the Fernwood community garden, I knew that this was going to be more than just the land. It was going to be the people, the community, the knowledge, the tools, and that is so much more appealing than doing this in isolation.
Yeah, it's always interesting in the first year because I think we're, like as a team, we're trying things and like realizing what works, what doesn't work. But I think that's kind of the beauty of being in the first year of something. I really like being in that kind of creative process of like, oh, no, okay, that doesn't work. Let's try that again. So I don't know if I can particularly say one thing, because I think we're kind of all continuously going through that together, and we're all like kind of bumping into it as a team and like working together. So that I really appreciate it.
This is unique because I don't know, like we don't have an end, right? We have a seasonal end maybe, but so it's about being a part of the beginning and thinking like, where is this going to go? And not having preconceived ideas of where it's going to go, like where in 10 years I want it to be like this. But being like fluid with that. And that's a strength that maybe I didn't know I had, because I'm usually so objective focused and like, where's our checklist and where's my clipboard so I can neatly cross all those things off with my Sharpie. It's not like that. This is very, every day you come and something different happens and you have a different conversation, and it can totally change the trajectory of the next day and of the future. So I think it's important to be open-minded, and that's, I think, perhaps my biggest strength that I bring to this. And continuing to be open-minded. I learn something new every time I'm here.
The biggest challenge, well, rocks was one of them, for sure. And I think I think it's just being able to let go of things. We make a lot of plans. I think I've scrapped many plans, and I think the biggest challenge is just being able to like let go and just observe what's happening and kind of follow with whatever's going on.
If there's one word that comes to mind, just the first word that comes to mind about just this experience of what you're doing.
Ooh. Exciting. Yeah.